Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and today we're on the Where's Shmee Euro Tour and we are exploring the Alps, driving the Vanquish Volante, how the car is supposed to be driven on a road trip. We've been going for a couple of weeks. We're about 2 weeks into this tour now, but today is beautiful scenery, amazing roads, a glorious exhaust note, and basically this, what we're going to go through today, is why I love this car. Up we go into the mountains. The roof is on because, unsurprisingly, as we ascend, it's getting rather chilly outside. We're going to be driving in and around the snow quite shortly. But if you've been following for a while, you'll know that I added this car to my collection, to the Shmee fleet, to be the car to use for grand touring, long distance road trips, all sorts of driving environments, just like this. We're about 2 weeks into the Where's Shmee Euro Tour. This is the car that's doing the longest sort of stints, the most driving. It's comfortable on the motorway, it's relaxed, it's gentle, it's actually surprisingly fuel efficient as well. It's sporty when you're on these kind of roads. The exhaust note, the characteristics of it. It's got the 8-speed ZF gearbox. It shifts really quickly, gives you that kind of engaging drive. It's got a lot of luggage space. It's practical. It's convenient. Basically, it is the car for this trip. And when we're down in Italy, in the south of France, the roof goes down, the Volante opens up, you have a wind deflector behind you, so you just get the sort of faintest of wind touches going over the top of your head, and you enjoy that V12 soundtrack, and that is one of the highlights of this car. Aston's 6-litre naturally aspirated V12, 576 horsepower, and one of the sort of best exhaust notes pretty much ever anywhere. V12s are amazing, amazing engines. They're almost a dying breed, but this car has one of the best, and it just sounds amazing as you start to open it up slightly. And yeah, we're in for some fun ahead. Listen to the noise of this car. It is one of the very, very best as we come through the peak of this road. What a stunning area to be driving as well. And I've obviously got the car in sport mode, so we get slightly more aggressive shifts. I've got the damper set for sport because the tarmac is so lovely that it just sort of makes sense to have that steering control. But the Vanquish is a kind of car that is that GT, comfortable, quiet, gentle motorway cruiser. But when you're on this kind of road, you can open it up, put your foot down and enjoy the experience, roof up, roof down, however you want to do it. But just my word, this drive today, this is what road trips are about, and this is why I bought this car. This thing is here to be used on trips, to be used on adventures, to go exploring and to be part of many happy memories. One thing that is interesting though is driving up at altitude, how much I sort of can notice there's less power. I don't think I've experienced it so much in other cars before, but in here there's like a noticeable difference. So I'm trying my best, guys, to get up to the red line, but obviously it's a little bit challenging with the thin air at altitude. But other than that, everything today is just lovely. This is a wonderful day to be driving, even if the sky isn't as blue as it could have been, and it's really cold, currently 2 degrees, but hey, it's a fun one. For a road then, what an amazing piece of tarmac. It's like someone sketched out how to make the most complicated piece of spaghetti up a mountain possible, and they came up with this. We were trying to fly the drone, but there are lots of obstacles and things all around the trees, and the connection was a little bit flaky, so it didn't make the most sense to put it up in the air. But driving this road in the Vanquish is a delight. It is stunning. This is what these cars are for. It's been snowing, and in fact, you might even just be able to see that there are some snowflakes still in the air around me while I'm filming this right now, which is why the roof is on. But I want to jump into the car quickly and talk a little bit more about the kind of practicalities and actual sort of everyday usage side of things with the Vanquish. And the first, before I get inside, is the boot. Now, believe it or not, the boot in here is pretty much as big as the FF. Like, we've literally got a suitcase down at the bottom, plenty of other bags. You can see we've got loads of space to throw things in, which is quite surprising in a GT convertible, because the roof is stored in this kind of separate compartment and it doesn't get in the way, which is pretty neat. Something I've always loved about Astons is the swan doors, the way they open slightly upwards. You're not going to be banging them on curbs and things if that was a problem. And then you've got comfortable seats, you've got heating and cooling. You can control the heating and cooling here. All around the car you've got loads and loads of storage buckets, so radios and water bottle here. This is like 1 cup holder or 2 depending how you want. Slot for cameras, cigarette socket for USBs, more USBs. We've got this whole armrest with a ton more USBs, big storage bucket for passports and wallets and stuff. Door pockets, sweet wrappers, sunglasses, action cams. Literally a road trip, as you can see at the moment. Car being used as it's supposed to be used. And then you've got even more luggage space in the kind of 2+2 seating in the back if you want it. Or you've got this wind deflector that folds up, so when you've got the roof down you get less windy inside the cabin. Rear windows go down kind of independently of the front ones, but I haven't quite yet worked out how the control works. It's this toggle here, which does the roof as well, but I'm very confused about how you do just the rear windows or all of that. Bit confusing. What else do we have? The sound system. I'm not using the navigation. Lots of people always ask me about this. I always use my mobile phone on Waze. Waze is the best nav app by a million miles. You can set it from home. It's got all sorts of data connection stuff, and it knows traffic way better than any built-in system. So whether I'm in an Aston, a Ferrari, a McLaren, a Mercedes, an Audi, a BMW, whatever it is, I like to have my music on the central display and my navigation on Waze. But what I do love about this car is the Bang & Olufsen tweeters. Now, the sound system and the way those tweeters rise out of the dash on its own is pretty awesome. So I'm just grabbing the key so I can pop that in and show you quickly. Wake the car up. Oh, we need wipers to wipe off the snow right now, I guess. It says trying to work out how they turn off. There we go. Vanquish, as that comes to life. But if I turn on the sound system, look at the way the tweeters rise out of the dash. It's like a £5,000 option on the car new, but it's so awesome and it sounds so good. So yes, you've got loads of V12 rumble in here, but if you want to just sit back and relax and cruise, you can also just put music on. The exhaust isn't intrusive at all. You've got the comfortable smooth gearbox. You've got various driver settings, so you can have the sport dampers or make it normal adaptive damping and sport mode, or regular normal mode for driving too. Basically, I keep that in sport generally though, I just find it more exciting. Cruise control controls. It's just a really nice car to use on a trip like this, and then you get to a road like that one, and that is just pure fun too. So I knew the car would do this job perfectly, and you use the car on a road trip, it gets dirty, so excuse all the bits and pieces all around the place. When I get home, I'll get it all cleaned up properly as usual. But it's literally ticking every single box. This is what I wanted, and it is doing it amazingly. So a car I initially thought, hey, I'm only going to buy this for a couple of trips and use it for a few months and then sell it, I'm actually growing quite fond of. Traffic may be bad, but check out where we are right now. This is one of the most beautiful places I think you can drive. Lake Como in Italy, with the sun setting over the hills and driving along with the roof down in the Volante. This is such a cool place, and this is what it's about. When people ask, why as a Brit do you buy a convertible? This is why. Engine noise, he says as a bike goes past us. The engine noise of the Vanquish, the wind in the hair, these views, this environment, this experience, it is just amazing, and this is what it is all about. And here we are finally. What a long day and a long drive today, but what a beautiful place to bring it to a close this evening. Lake Como, one of the most wonderful places I have ever been, ever driven. You get the sun setting over in that direction, but it is just cool to be here. I'm gonna head back into the hotel garage though, just to go find the car quickly. Tucked away in a dark corner, but a car that is excelling in every way. We've thrown it down the autobahns today on the twisty roads. It's doing everything a GT car is supposed to do. One of these great road trips, going to so many places, experiencing so many memories and things that will not be forgotten, and even just cruising around Lake Como this evening. Traffic or no traffic, it's such a lovely place, and the car is one of the most perfect to be doing it in. So that is basically why I've bought this car. For a trip like this, the memories that are going to be had with it. And this is not the end by any means. We've still got to pick up the McLaren, drive with the two cars to Monaco, and then we've got the whole of Top Marks Monaco in front of us too. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed to check all of that out. But thank you very much for joining me today on the adventure from Germany through to Italy in the Vanquish Volante. That's it for now though, guys. I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.